Hello and welcome to your Medicare 101 presented by Vista Mutual Insurance Services. We are independent agents who work with Vista Mutual Insurance Services to represent a variety of different insurance carriers. We're licensed by the state of California and certified by these various carriers to represent their product, but we do not work for or represent any governmental agency. You can visit us at vistamutual.com or on Facebook at Vista Mutual to book a one-on-one video or phone appointment. Vista Mutual Insurance Services is an agency that specializes in the senior market, particularly Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, and prescription drug plans. We're family owned and operated. The co-owners are myself, Joe Valenzuela, and my wife, Christina Valenzuela. With decades of industry experience, we're uniquely prepared to help seniors and their loved ones find the right solutions for their Medicare needs. The topics of discussion that we're going to go over today, we're going to go over an overview of Medicare. We're going to review Medicare Part A, B, C, and D. We're going to go over your enrollment timeline. We're also going to have a discussion on Medicare Advantage plans, or Part C. We're going to discuss Part D, your prescription drug plans, and how to choose a plan. What is Medicare? Well, Medicare is a federal health insurance program. It's designed for people that are 65 and older, or for certain younger people with disabilities. Also for people with end-stage renal disease and Lou Gehrig's disease. Medicare is administered by the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, also known as CMS. We in the insurance industry like our acronyms, so you're going to hear a lot of those today, but we will spell out exactly what each of those mean. So Medicare has four basic parts: Part A, Part B, Part C, and Part D. Let's go in depth about what they cover and what you'll pay for them. First, Part A. Part A covers your inpatient care at hospitals, so when you're staying overnight at a hospital. It also covers skilled nursing facility care. So let's say you got out of the hospital, but you were a little bit too sick to come home, not sick enough to stay in the hospital though. They could put you in a skilled nursing facility or rehab facility, and Medicare Part A helps cover those costs. It also covers hospice care and home health care. Now that you know what it covers, let's talk about what it would cost you. Well, most people get Part A premium free. If you or your spouse have paid taxes, FICA taxes, at least 10 years or 40 quarters, then you get it for no premium. If you pay FICA taxes less than 10 years, you would pay a premium to get Medicare Part A. There are also deductibles and co-insurances for some services. The most notable is the deductible if you go into the hospital. For 2022, that value is $1,556. Now that covers you from day 1 to day 60, but it's $1,556 even if you're just in for one day. That's why people get these other insurances that we're going to be discussing. All right, let's talk about Medicare Part B, also known as your medical insurance. The services it covers are from doctors and other healthcare providers like specialists, so things that are outside of the hospital. Also outpatient care. So if you have a small surgery like a cataract surgery, Medicare Part B covers that, where you're not staying the night. You're going and coming back the same day. It also helps with some home health care and will cover durable medical equipment. So if you needed oxygen or a CPAP mask or a wheelchair or a walker, Medicare Part B would help cover those costs. And it covers some preventive services as well. So things like your annual wellness exam, your cancer screenings, things of that nature. Medicare Part A and Part B together are also known as Original Medicare. So when you hear somebody say, I just have Original Medicare, this is what they're talking about. Now that you know what it covers, let's talk about what you'll pay for Medicare Part B. Well, there is a monthly premium, unlike Medicare Part A, and it can vary depending on your income. The baseline premium for new enrollees in 2022 is $170.10, but you may have an income-related monthly adjustment amount, or IRMA amount. This states that if you make over a certain threshold, that you'll have to pay more for your Medicare Part B. There's also an annual or yearly deductible. In 2022, that value is $233. Well, what does that mean to you? That means if you just have Original Medicare and you go in for a service January 1st or the first time of the year, you'll have to meet that $233 deductible. After that deductible is met, then most services have a 20% coinsurance. So pretty small if you're just doing doctor office visits and things like that. But imagine cancer treatment or dialysis with just Original Medicare. having to pay 20% of those costs into oblivion because Medicare itself does not have a maximum out of pocket or a stop loss. Basically just an amount that they say if you reach this threshold, you don't have to pay anymore. So again, that's why people get these other insurances that we're going to be discussing. You also may be subject to a late enrollment penalty if you don't elect it when you're first eligible to. So the penalty is an additional 10% of the premium for each 12-month period that you were without coverage. So if you went a full 12 months without coverage, you would have to pay an additional $17.01 in penalty per month forever. So it behooves you to get this insurance when you're eligible to get it. There are some things to consider when enrolling into Original Medicare. First, your initial enrollment period. It lasts for 7 months. It begins 3 months before your 65th birthday, includes the month that you turn 65, and ends 3 months after you turn 65. Enrollment is automatic if you're getting Social Security or railroad retirement benefits. If you're not, then you'll have to self-enroll. And you can do that just by going to your local Social Security office, by calling your local Social Security office, or calling 1-800-MEDICARE. Most people do pay a monthly premium for Medicare Part B. It's usually deducted directly from Social Security. And that amount does depend on that IRMA amount, that income-related monthly adjustment amount. Now, if you're not collecting Social Security, there are a lot of people we run into that aren't because they're waiting to get that maximum. So if you're not, they'll bill you quarterly for that $170.10. All right. You also may incur that penalty if you sign up late or you don't sign up during your initial enrollment period. But there's generally no penalty if you have other creditable coverage, like through your spouse's employer or your union or yourself. So what do you do if you're still working after the age of 65? Well, we have a lot of clients that come to us that are still under active employment, still working after the age of 65. So you may want to delay your Part B. You need to check with your employer or union or benefits department to find out if you should or need to take Part B. You see, some employers will coordinate with Medicare and have a Medicare plan while you're still employed, and some will say, do not take Part B because then that becomes your primary insurance, and then your employer coverage is doing basically nothing for you. But if you decline Part B and stay on your employer coverage, it's important to evaluate your coverage each year during your open enrollment period for your employer and for Medicare, because you may find that you'd be better served on a Medicare health plan. These plans change every year as well as your employer plan changes, so it's important to evaluate that each year. Again, there is no penalty if you enroll later while you have coverage or within 8 months of losing that coverage. So you get a pretty good timeline in order to not get a penalty. Let's talk a little bit more about your Medicare options. What you see on your screen here is a classic example of the 2 roads that you can go down once you have Medicare. Now, Medicare is your ticket to the game. What we're talking about now is upgrading your seats, right? So you have to have Medicare in order to get any of these plans that we're going to discuss. So on your left-hand side of your screen, you'll see Original Medicare, Part A and Part B, with a prescription drug plan, what we call a standalone prescription drug plan. That just means it only covers medications. And then in addition to that, a Medicare supplement or Medigap policy. These Medicare supplement and Medigap are interchangeable words, so they mean the same thing. So that's one road to go down. The other road is Medicare Part C or a Medicare Advantage plan. Let's talk a little bit more and give you an example of what a Medicare supplement with Part D coverage looks like and what a Medicare Advantage plan looks like. So on your screen on the left-hand side, you're going to see examples of Medicare Advantage plans. So these plans have plan types. They're HMOs, PPOs, MSAs, and SNPs. What that means is HMO stands for Health Maintenance Organization, and simply means that you have a network of providers that you must stick within, that you must have a primary care physician, and they must give you a referral if you're going to see a specialist. A PPO stands for Preferred Provider Organization, simply meaning we have a list of preferred providers, but if you want to choose to step outside that, you can, but you'll pay extra to do so, and you don't need a referral to do that. Special needs plans are becoming more popular, and these plans are designed for a specific subset of people. Some are low income, so these are called D or dual SNP plans, and that just means that you have Medicare and Medi-Cal or Medicaid in some states. And then there's also C SNP plans. Those stand for chronic condition special needs plans, and those are designed for people that have chronic conditions, like diabetes, for instance, or congestive heart failure. So you need to have one of those conditions to qualify for those, and usually they're more robust in benefits. But here's just an example. So if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, you could be looking at your primary care visits anywhere from $0 to $50. If you're going into the hospital, it can be anywhere from $0 to $400 a day for days 1 through 8. If you're going on an ambulance ride, it can be anywhere, again, from $0 to $300 per ride. Now, these plans usually cover Part D. We say usually because not all plans do. There are specific plans designed for veterans, for instance, because they get their medications at the VA. They don't need a Part D plan. So those are without Part D, but most do. They may require you to see a specific network of doctors. So they have a network sometimes. And they can include additional benefits not covered by Medicare, like dental, vision, hearing aids, over-the-counter, and transportation. The cost for Medicare Advantage plans can range anywhere from $0 up to $75 per month, sometimes even more. Now, on the right-hand side, you'll see examples of Medicare supplement plans. Now, these plans have plan names, not plan types. The type of plan is Medicare supplement. The plan names are A through N. So if you hear someone say, I have a Plan F or a Plan N or Plan C, they're talking about Medicare supplement plans. So they're government standardized, meaning every plan from each company has to cover the same benefits. Now, Medicare pays 80% of the cost, right? And your supplement plan pays the other 20%. Now, you may have co-payments and co-insurance depending on the level of coverage you choose. So think of it as A is the least and F is really the most, but there's levels in between. Now, it does not cover medications. So just like we talked about, you need a separate or standalone Part D plan. And the national average for those is $33 per month. So you can expect to pay around the national average. You can also see any provider that accepts Medicare nationwide without a referral. So it really opens up your network to be all of Medicare. The cost for these types of plans is anywhere from $50 a month all the way up to $400 a month. So they are more costly, and you have to add in that additional premium for Medicare Part B as well. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about Medicare Advantage. Medicare Advantage plans, they contract with Medicare to provide services equivalent to Medicare coverage, and they're paid a fixed amount monthly to cover the cost of your care, and they have to follow Medicare rules. So if you join a Medicare Advantage plan, you'll get your Part A and Part B, and usually your Part D coverage from that plan. Again, you may be required to use a specific network of providers, and you will be subject to the premiums, co-insurance, and co-payments of the plan. Now, the premium is what you pay per month. The co-insurance is just a percentage, and a co-payment is a set dollar amount. All right, so there are those different types of Medicare plans that we went over. Now, these plans, like the HMO, PPOs, and S&P plans, are offered in specific coverage areas, and not all areas will have all plan types. Plans also have varying premiums, co-insurance, and co-payments that are different than original Medicare. And that's where we come in as an agent. So we come in and we can compare those options for you to make sure that you're getting a deal that best suits your needs. So when can you join, switch, or drop a Medicare Advantage plan? Well, when you first become eligible for Medicare, of course, you can join, switch, or drop a Medicare Advantage plan. If you become eligible to Medicare due to a disability, you also have a certain period of time that you can join. Every year, between October 15th and December 7th, anyone with Medicare can join, switch, or drop a Medicare Advantage plan. This is what's referred to as the annual election period. But even if you make a change on October 15th, that change won't become effective until January 1st of the next year. Also, if you have a special election period, So let's say that you move out of your plan service area. We just discussed that these plans are only offered in specific areas, mainly counties. So if you move outside of your county, then you will no longer be eligible for your plan, and you get a special election period in order to get a new plan in your new county. Also, if you have become eligible for or lose Medi-Cal or Medicaid, that qualifies you for a special election. Also, if you qualify for Extra Help. Now, Extra Help is an amazing program that helps reduce the cost of your premium as well as the cost of your prescription drug plan. It's applied for directly through Medicare and Social Security, so it does not hurt to ask. We tell everybody to try to qualify. The worst they can say is no. The best they can do is lower all your costs. Also, if you live in an institution like a nursing home, you have a special election period. And if you enroll in a plan that has a 5-star rating. Medicare uses a star rating system in order to determine what the quality of a health plan is. There's a lot of different metrics that go into it, and there are some plans here in California, as well as other states, that have a 5-star rating. If the plan has a 5-star, you can enroll at any time. Now, there's also a new period that got instituted about 4 years ago. It's called the open enrollment period. This period happens between January 1st and ends March 31st. So if you're in a Medicare Advantage plan, with or without drug coverage, you can switch to another Medicare Advantage plan, with or without drug coverage. You can also disenroll from your Medicare Advantage plan and return to original Medicare. If you choose to do so, you'll be able to join a prescription drug plan as well. If you're enrolled in a Medicare Advantage plan during your initial enrollment period, you can also change to another Medicare Advantage plan with or without drug coverage, or go back to original Medicare with or without drug coverage within the first 3 months that you have Medicare. So it's really a period, say that you miss the open enrollment period and you have a Medicare Advantage plan, you can change still between this time. Now, the difference between the annual election and open enrollment is annual election period, you can make as many changes as you want. And the last one that you choose, that's the one that goes effective. During the open enrollment period, you only have one opportunity. So if you enroll January 2nd, it goes effective February 1st. If you enroll anytime in February, it goes effective March 1st. And if you enroll anytime in March, it goes effective April 1st. But you can only do this once. And the huge main caveat is that you have to have a Medicare Advantage plan already. So if you just have original Medicare or original Medicare and a supplement plan and a Part D plan, you cannot use this period to do anything. You can't change. But if you have Medicare Advantage, you can. All right, let's talk a little bit about prescription drug coverage, or Part D. What it does is it helps protect you from the high cost of prescription medications. These plans are approved by Medicare, but they're administered by private insurance companies. So you cannot just call Medicare and say, I'd like to have a Part D plan. It would have to be from a private health insurance company. Now, what does Part D cost you? Well, your costs can vary based on a number of different factors. First, your prescriptions and which ones are covered by your plan. So each plan has a formulary or list of covered medications. So again, that's where we as agents come in. We can help you look up all of the formularies and all of your medications to determine if the plan covers it and how the plan covers it. Also, the plan you choose, right? Because these plans will have different premiums and different co-payments for each level of drug coverage. Also, which pharmacy that you use. Some plans have preferred and non-preferred pharmacies, meaning if you go to a preferred pharmacy, you'll have a lower cost share. And if you go to a non-preferred, you'll have a higher cost share. Also, whether or not you get the extra help that we talked about, because that can lower your premiums and lower your copayments. Now, we talked about the income-related monthly adjustment amount on Part B as in boy. That also exists in Part D as in dog. So if you're receiving the income-related monthly adjustment amount, you make over that threshold and getting charged more for Medicare Part B, then you're also going to get charged more for Medicare Part D. So if you don't enroll when you're initially eligible to, you could also pay a late enrollment penalty. And that penalty usually lasts for life. The penalty is equal to 1% of the base beneficiary premium, which is $33 in 2022, for each month that you were eligible for coverage and chose not to enroll. So if you went a full year, a full 12 months, without getting drug coverage when you could have, And then the next year you go to get it, you're going to pay an additional $3.96 monthly forever. Now, that's a scary thought, especially if you go 5 years. But that's not the thing that scares me the most. The thing that scares me the most is that we just talked about the enrollment periods that you have for these items. So you could be stuck in June and now you need drug coverage because your needs have changed and you can't get it until the next year. So you'll have to pay 100% for your medications, and some of them can be incredibly expensive. So it behooves you, again, to get this when you're eligible for it. So why use an agent? Well, we can save you time and money. First of all, we are absolutely free to you. It does not cost you anything to work with a licensed insurance agent. We can shop all the carriers for you so that you can make an informed decision and feel confident about it. If you have an issue or a concern throughout the year, you can always call your agent directly and they can fix the problem for you at a local level, all for no cost. Also, our expertise. Our agents are knowledgeable about the local area, doctors, hospitals, and networks. So if you want to receive services from a specific provider or a certain medical center, we can help you choose the plan that meets those needs. On our team, we have over 100 years of combined experience in just Medicare. We're also an independent resource. We don't work for the insurance company. As licensed independent insurance agents, we work for you. If you're in an election period and you want to make a plan change, we unbiasedly guide you through the process of selecting and enrolling into your new plan. And also because things change. Medicare insurance can be complicated, and each year our agents participate in certification classes to stay up to date with Medicare's current rates and coverage. We stay informed about Medicare insurance options so that you don't have to, and you can always reach out to us. Each year, our agents will sit down with you and do a review to ensure that you're still getting the deal that best suits your needs. So what do you do next? Again, our services are absolutely free to our clients. You can use our expertise at no cost to you. So reach out to me by email or by phone. On your screen right now, you can see my email, or you can visit us at vistamutual.com. You can learn more. You can also attend an in-person meeting. We have them throughout the Bay Area and also in other states. You can book an appointment with me right now. There's a link that will pop up, and depending on the platform that you're on, and there'll be a link that you can just click on it and it has my schedule. You can get an hour of my time for no cost to you to talk about your Medicare insurance needs. So at this point, I'd like to thank you very much for your time. I know that this is a topic that complicates and confuses a lot of people, but we have a saying here at Vista Mutual. We like to simplify Medicare. So Medicare Insurance Simplified. And we hope to bring you enough value that it's simple enough for you so that you can make this decision. It's a tough one to make. Again, on the screen, you can see my name, Joe Valenzuela. My license number is 0F72189. We're located here in Brentwood, California, but we operate throughout the state and in other states. And again, you can visit us on Facebook at Vista Mutual, visit us online at vistamutual.com, and you can email or call me at any time. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to hear from you soon.